I'm getting it now. They're carrying the boat away. So.
Let's start this off with a sternwheeler whistle. Soothing steamboat runs ended in upriver Snoqualmie in 1917. All 13 of those posing in this week's idyllic now scene came to the riverbank across from downtown Fall City by car. So did Jean and I. Indirectly, the needs and wants of us and our collective forebears are why this section of the Snoqualmie River hasn't seen a paddle-driven steamboat in well over a century. In the late 19th century, steamboats, also called sternwheelers, were part of Puget Sound's celebrated mosquito fleet and a prime mode of transport for hops, timber, and people in rural waterways. But their navigation fell victim to unmistakable signs of growth and progress. The complicating cables and booms of cross-channel ferries and bridges, the parallel routes of new railroad lines, and the coming popularity and rumble of automobiles and trucks. Steamboat runs upriver as far as Duval ended by 1917. Thus, any rivercraft sailing past Fall City today consists only of recreational rowboats, rafts, and kayaks. But oh, for the days of steamboats, yearned childhood pals Steve Barker and Jack Russell. Now straddling age 78, they devoted their 4 most recent years to assembling a new large-format book, Steamboats on the Snoqualmie. Its 148 pages overflow with 130 historical photos, 6 intricate maps, and myriad details of elegant vessels from a seemingly gentler time, with names like the Traveler, the Ranger, and the May Queen. The softcover volume focuses on what might be called the 3 S's, the Snoqualmie River, and to a lesser extent its downstream siblings, the Skykomish and Snohomish, a system emanating from the Cascades and snaking to saltwater in a northwesterly direction from above Snoqualmie Falls to Everett. Barker of Duval and Russell of unincorporated Skyway between Seattle and Renton met in the 5th grade in 1955-56 at Hawthorne Elementary School in the Rainier Valley. Their families bore sternwheeler connections that buoyed their 67-year friendship. Barker, a retired banker, was the primary writer, and Russell the researcher. Russell also parlayed his steamer passion into an adult vocation he still practices today. He runs a Fisherman's Terminal-based charter service on the 1993 vintage Christine W., the only commercial sternwheeler on the Sound. It embodies an appeal the book can only attempt to capture. It's the smell of the steam and the cylinder oil. It's not a diesel chugging away, Russell says. It only goes 5 to 6 miles per hour, so it's a gentler motion. And steam whistles can be very pretty, very melodious. It just sounds different and feels different than a propeller vessel. And when the paddle wheel turns, you can hear the wheel hitting the water. It's a soothing sound. For our first then photo, in this snowy scene from winter 1888, the steamboat Cascade, piloted by Captain George W. Gove, stops along the Snoqualmie River at the Landing, later renamed Fall City, next to today's State Highway 202. Hauling hops from nearby farms, it also picked up stacked 4-foot cordwood. Built in 1884, the Cascade last operated in 1901. Visible on shore with a dog is 8-year-old Albert Moore, later a farmer and North Bend Timber fire warden. In our second then photo, as 6th graders in 1957, Jack Russell, top row far left, and Steve Barker, top row far right, stand in a class photo at Hawthorne Elementary School in the Rainier Valley. They have been friends for 67 years. In our third then photo, It's a side view of the 99-foot stern-wheeler Cascade as it backs up on Puget Sound in the late 1880s. Today, gathering 200 feet east of the then photo site are, from left, the co-authors of Steamboats on the Snoqualmie, Steve Barker and Jack Russell, with 11 Snoqualmie Valley heritage enthusiasts. Also displayed is a 3-foot scale model of the Black Prince, the last stern-wheeler to ply the Snoqualmie River as far as just below Duval. Its final run in 1928 was to remove equipment and machinery from an old mill. The model is owned by the Tolt Historical Society. Others pictured are, standing from left, Kelly Barker, wife of Steve Barker, Hideko Fletcher, partner of Jack Russell, and holding up the Black Prince model, Jim Jordan, Tolt Historical Society trustee, Gene Stevens, Falls City Historical Society historian, and Rick Devers, Falls City Historical Society president. Sitting from left are Maida Ingalls, Tolt Historical Society president, Chris and Dick Kirby, Snoqualmie Valley Museum board member, Diana Anderson Amos, Tolt Historical Society volunteer, Marion Quero, Falls City Historical Society volunteer, and Donna Driver Cummin, Falls City Historical Society board member. Also today, co-authors Steve Barker, left, and Jack Russell stand in the pilot house of Russell's Christine W. steamer at Fisherman's Terminal. Russell charters tours for up to 48 people. And now, look up for video of the pleasing paddle wheel sounds and steam whistle of the Christine W.
But yeah, I'm lucky to have this boat. It's a cool boat. It's a cool boat.
Things go up.
Right.
It's a lot earlier.
Yeah, as much. No, we